can see that my hair is like just sticking up, but well, bad haircuts aside, my name is Paula and I'm an INFP, so I often talk about INFP related things on this channel. I also enjoy talking about writing because I am a writer. I write some books under the pen name EJ Mara, and I also work for a television news station right now where I work as a writer, and there I write under my actual name, which is Paula Jones. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about something related to writing, and it is that oftentimes writers find themselves um, developing stories about characters, main characters, who are not great people. Hi, there's somebody who commented. Hey, Elsie. I'm going to okay. But yeah, we often find ourselves writing about these people who we don't really like that much. So why do we do that? Um, and I think this can seem weird to someone maybe who's never written before or isn't too familiar with the arts like writing or acting or things like that. Um, the thing is, in a lot of my books, for example, especially the ones I was going to say, especially the ones that I've written in the past 10 years, but those are like the only books I've ever written. So I guess I can say in the books that I write, I am very drawn to characters who I don't really like all that much, which is weird because, like, if these people were real, I wouldn't want to be friends with them, with most of them. Like, for example, there is this character who I wrote about named Mia, who is a racist mean girl. She's a teenager. She's like 17 and she's, the head cheerleader. She's very wealthy. She frequently puts down people of color because she doesn't understand why they're always complaining about things. Um, like she's one of those people who's kind of like, why don't they just get over it? Um, so yeah, I wrote an entire story about her. Many of the chapters were from her perspective, and you see her or read her thoughts in her head, putting people down. And sometimes she says racist things to people, doesn't even realize she's being racist. So, like, why did I write about that? I wrote about it because there are so many people who I've met who are actually like that, but who also have really nice qualities. And it's confusing. And I want to understand those people. I don't necessarily want to be close friends with them, but I do want to understand why they're the way they are and how a person can become that way. Um, and I want to understand it without judging them because being so sensitive, it makes it easy for us to, like, for INFPs, to, when we feel hurt by someone's behavior, to judge them very harshly because we're hurt. So when, like, I left a writers group that I really liked because of some racist remarks that were made in the writers group, for example, locally here. And even though I like the people in the group, it's difficult for me to understand why they say some of the things that they say, even though they seem like really, really decent people who are excellent writers. So, like, I guess I write about these kinds of people because I want to understand them. And, like, it helps me when I get into a character's head to see that there is a logic to the way that they think. It may not be you know, the most positive perspective on life, and it may not even be accurate. But there is a reason that they see people and see things the way that they do. And it has to usually do with their background. And it usually has to do with something happening in their background that made them sort of broken. So instead of making me dislike this person more and more, this character, it helps me to identify with them because I'm broken too. I may not be broken in the same way that they are, but we all have problems. We've all been through traumatic experiences, some more than others, but we all have been through something traumatic that has shaped us for the worst in certain ways. So that's something we all can relate to. So when I see someone who went through something really horrible and it resulted in them treating other people in a similarly horrible way. Even though I don't condone their actions, it helps me to understand why they are the way they are. So yeah, it was difficult to write that book about Mia. And I'm also kind of embarrassed if anyone would read it. Fortunately, nobody really reads my books, so I don't have to worry about it. But like the things that she does and the things that she says are embarrassing to me. Like I kind of worry that people will read it and think that I'm okay with what she does, and I'm not. I'm not okay with anything she does in any part of the book. Even the good things that she tries to do are kind of bad. And even the way she talks, it's disgusting. She does bad things. But at the same time, as hard as it was for me to write that, I do appreciate like trying to understand her and trying to get to know or trying to figure out why people are the way that we are. That's all. I'm just kind of rambling a lot to basically say that writers are like private detectives, I guess, who, private detectives are hired to peer into other people's activities to get a clear understanding of what they're doing, how they spend their private time, what their real motives are, who they really are. And writers are kind of like that, except we do it mentally. Like we get into a character's head, which is very similar to what actors do too. We get into a character's head and kind of share space with them up there. We watch them think things through. We figure out their patterns of thinking. And then as we figure out their patterns of thinking, we start to anticipate how they're going to act. And so it helps us to understand people better. So yeah, I think that's why a lot of us writers are drawn to characters who do really terrible things, because it's our way of trying to understand this world that we live in that is full of people who really do terrible things. We just want to understand why. That said, after I wrote that book about Mia, I was glad to be done with it because it made me more of a negative person while I was writing it. Um, yeah, so it's a lot more fun to write about characters who are nice people, but it is very revealing to write about characters who do things that aren't that great. Although I think I'm probably, just for the sake of my own like need to be more positive, I'll probably start writing from the perspective of more like positive main characters. I think that's what I'll do. All right. Well, that's it for this video today. My hair is still not right. Oh well, whatever. I hope that was interesting to at least one person. Thank you, Elsie, for showing up. And I hope that you have a good day and thank you for watching. Bye.